PlayStation. For decades, it's been at the heart of gaming culture, a symbol of both innovation and unity between gamers. From the glory days of the PS1, which had us all convinced that the polygonal Lara Croft was bad.
Nice.
Then to the PS4, which single-handedly kept the console wars alive with exclusive after exclusive after exclusive after exclusive. Long story short, PlayStation had our wallets in a chokehold. 2020. PS5 has just been launched. We all thought the launch would be a moment of triumph, but it instantly became pretty clear that we'd have to sell a kidney just to buy one. So, what exactly was the problem, you ask? Well, stock shortages, bots, scalpers getting rich, and Sony simply not doing anything effective to stop the scalpers.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
November 7th, 2024. Sony just dropped the PS5 Pro on us like an expensive gift that smells like disappointment. We thought, finally, a new console that'll blow our minds. Nope, they really just slapped the Pro label on a not-so-pro machine and tried to sell it to us for $700. Oh, and no stand and no disk drive. Let's just dive in and unpack why this new PlayStation might just be the most absurd thing Sony has ever tried to sell us. Alright, remember back when PS5s were rarer than a roll of toilet paper in 2020? Well, the pandemic. It brought us masks and lockdowns. And for some, the perfect excuse to demand an arm, a leg, and possibly your firstborn for a next-gen console. Getting a PS5 was harder than finding Bigfoot at Disneyland. And now, after all that struggle, Sony drops this new Pro version, basically telling us congrats on your purchase, but maybe you want to sell it and go through it all over again. Because you know, FOMO never gets old. Now, introducing the PS5 Pro, the latest and greatest, or more accurately, the most expensive way to play games you could have already played, but slightly better. Because who wouldn't want to pay top dollar for some kinda shinier graphics? Don't worry, Sony has you covered. All those essential upgrades are here. From 8K, wait a minute, wasn't the original PS5 marketed with 8K? I don't know. Must be imagining things, but let's say for the sake of the argument that 8K was an actual upgrade. Okay, who the fuck has an 8K TV? But here's the kicker, Sony's basically banking on the fact that they've conditioned us to pay for anything with PlayStation slapped on it. Because let's face it, some of you have already dropped rent money just to own a PS5 back in the day. And if you were one of those people who paid reseller prices during the original launch, congratulations, you've made Sony realize they can get away with nearly anything. Apparently, they were taking notes. But wait, it's not just about power or better graphics, it's about cultural significance. This is the PS5 Pro, a console that says, I am better than the average gamer. It says, I don't care if my credit card bill skyrockets.
I am never gonna financially recover from this.
It's not just a console, it's a lifestyle. You're now part of the elite 4K 60 FPS club, even if you're only playing Tetris. You get to experience all the same games, but this time with slightly better shadows and reflections. Because if there's one thing that the PS5 was lacking, it was the ability to perfectly capture how glossy your character's hair looks while getting molested by Melania in Elden Ring. Now, all jokes aside, remember the PS4 Pro? That upgrade actually felt satisfying at the time. The leap from the PS4 to the PS4 Pro gave us better textures, bit smoother frame rates, and 4K support. Now, I'm not gonna be hypocritical and say that the PS5 Pro does not provide similar upgrades, but the difference is that the PS4 Pro did not roast people's wallets and had the Blu-ray disc drive included. Okay, I know selling separate Blu-ray disc drives was not a thing back then, but still. Okay, the pricing. PS5 Pro $699 retail without the disc drive and the stand. Let's compare that to the PS4 Pro and the PS4 Slim. PS4 Slim was retail at $100 less and the Pro version at the same price as the original PS4. Now we need to mind inflation because times are a bit different now. But even with that said, the retail price for the PS5 digital version, which was $399 in 2020, would be $487 today, so a $499 to $550 price tag for the PS5 Pro would have been a much more reasonable price, considering that even with the new upgrades, it's still based on the 4-year-old PS5. Look, it's like an overclocked PS5 with extra storage. And speaking of the storage, 2 TB isn't bad, it's pretty decent actually, and more than enough for most casual gamers. And with games like Call of Duty eating up half a terabyte alone, 2 TB will still be decent enough. Because let's be honest, how many AAA games are you downloading and playing at the same time? So if you think that 2 TB is not enough, there are 2 options. You should either consider buying extra storage or consider getting a fucking job. Now, what's with the 8K support? Does it mean every PS5 Pro enhanced game is going to support it? The answer is a resounding fuck no! Here's the groundbreaking list of games that support 8K. Gran Turismo 7, F1 24, No Man's Sky, and that's about it. Seriously, that's the list. Oh, and spoiler alert, they're not even running in native 8K. Look, I get it, the idea of being able to see your horse's left nutsack in 8K definition is extremely exciting, but unless you're one of the 5 people on earth with an actual 8K TV and the overwhelming desire to play one of these games, then I doubt 8K is an upgrade. If you watched the video so far, like the video and give me a sub, that'd be cool, thanks. Alright, let's talk about the performance upgrades, which is kinda the main reason why you might want to buy a PlayStation 5 Pro. In the announcement video, Sony flexed the PS5 Pro running The Last of Us 2 at a buttery 60 FPS in fidelity mode, while the PS5 only had around 30 FPS. That's impressive, right? That's what I thought too, until I learned this magic frame rate was achieved by PSSR, which is Sony's take on AI upscaling. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing bad about upscaling, and I love it, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. So this is at the time I'm editing this, and according to some new articles, PS5 Pro is having some performance issues on Star Wars Jedi and Silent Hill 2, among other games. And I was really looking forward to PSSR, but now I'm very skeptical, and I think that Sony is just testing the waters for a good PSSR on PlayStation 6. Alright, let's dive into some Pro enhanced games and see how they stack up. First, Resident Evil 4. Wow, a whole 4 more frames per second on average. Truly groundbreaking. Moving on, Horizon Forbidden West. And honestly, I can't even tell if the FPS is better or worse. I mean, I guess the graphics are a bit higher, so yay! And then there's Alan Wake 2 in performance mode. And guess what? It actually has less FPS than the base PS5 version.
But it has better graphics.
Shut up, bitch!
How am I even supposed to notice that? Like seriously, am I supposed to pull out a magnifying glass out of my fucking ass every time I turn on the console? Look, even IGN, the king of all glazers, did a blind test, and guess what? They couldn't spot the difference either.
I think the first one I played is the PS5 Pro.
When IGN, a heavily biased company, says, yeah, we got nothing, then you know there's a problem.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Look, if you got the money to burn and want the best gaming experience, then buy a PC. Jokes aside, I just don't really see the value of the PS5 Pro for the average gamer. So just get the slim version instead. Oh, and one more thing. Sub the channel, will ya?